Well, hello, my friend, and welcome again to Nerium International. Today, I'm going to take you one step closer in helping you understand the power of the awesome community, the leadership that you have. My guest today is somebody that I've known and really grown to love a lot. He's a real guy. I love him because I can pester him and he can pester me, and we have that give and take relationship. Love this guy. His name is George Wiley. George, thanks so much for spending some time with us today.
Terry, it's always a pleasure to be with you, my friend.
I guess the first question I should ask is, how did you become a horseman?
That's a heck of a way to start this. Pretty much born into it. My parents were from southern New Mexico. My dad's a veterinarian. Mom runs our family feed store, and just at a young age, my parents were into it. And as a kid, it's easy to love horses, so they had them around, and I got excited about it, and it's just quickly become a huge passion in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how did you get involved in the network marketing profession in MLM or pyramid schemes or whatever people want to call it?
I love that pyramid thing. People never ask you if this is a pyramid, like when you're ready for the answer and you've been there and you've done it. I love it now because here we are. We're at the very beginning of an awesome company. We know what we have. And so my patent answer anytime somebody asks me now is absolutely, but pyramids don't suck when you're the one at the top. And because we're at the top. But of course, nobody asked now. But anyway, my background, how I got started. Like I said, from New Mexico, my parents' background, they sent me to college. Same level of expectation that most kids get sent. Go get good grades, have some fun, do what you can to build a resume so you can get a safe, secure job. And I did several of those things well. I got good grades. I had the opportunity to work on the United States Senate Budget Committee in D.C. as an internship. And when I got back from school, one of the classes I had to have to graduate wasn't offered till the following semester. So I asked if there's a workaround. They said I could do a senior thesis if I wished. I chose to do it on the direct sales industry. My mom had been involved in Nu Skin back when I was in high school. I'd been to a few of the events. I was very impressed with the personal development and just the great leaders that I met there. People a lot like you, just wonderful, positive people who thought well and helped others. And so I decided just to check it out as a true business model, compared it to the path I was on of being an employee. The path of my parents, which were entrepreneurs, and then something in the middle, franchising. And no matter what I compared it to, it just seemed like the clear winner to me for not only financial freedom, but clearly time freedom and lots of other benefits. And so when I got out of college, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I had other options. My parents and I are very, very close. So I asked my folks, I'm like, hey, are you guys cool with this? You understand why I'm looking to do it? And they said, we believe in you. And if this is something you want to do, the good news is you're young, and if it doesn't work, you do have a good education. We know you're very employable, so go for it. And my first year or two, I did well enough that it was probably similar to what I would have done through my real job, quote unquote.
And how old were you at this point?
Quick math, 23, 24 years old, something like and so I moved out to California. I started working, learning the industry, learned that I had made some poor judgments in the first couple companies that I joined. But I met great people who educated, taught me, showed me more. And ultimately, by the time I'm 27, 28, 29 years old, I'd learned a lot. And I became a top producer in a couple of companies and just really got to learn a lot more about the industry. And the biggest thing I learned was one of the things that I love so much about the people we're working with now, and that is the attitude about leaders who truly have success that people really appreciate being around.
Yep.
And a lot of successful folks, and they say, hey, this is their check, and they focus on the amount. But if you ask those leaders how they're doing, they're going to tell you not about their check, but how great people in their group are doing and what their stories are, because they really do believe what I call the Zig Ziglar effect to this business, that you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's what the leaders focus on, helping the people that they shared this business with become successful themselves.
and you do that very, very well, George. I just have to let my friend watching here understand the fact that you have been there for everything that I've needed in any of my team members, even prospects coming in. And I just really appreciate that leadership and that support that you've given us so far. You're awesome, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other success, because I understand from being in the field, in the trenches, doing the business, then you got involved with some other things, and that led to other things in the business. And, network marketing really has catapulted you to really become a very, very successful businessman, if you will, on lots of levels. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I did get started just as a distributor, and I learned and I worked. I shouldn't say just, there's so much opportunity there, but when you get into the industry, you see there's levels of opportunity and personal development everywhere. And I, at the time, was trying to create some of my own systems for my teams. This was back in, like I said, 96 to 2000, 2001. Mm-hmm. But that sweet spot of, say, 97, 98, 99 was a lot of fun to build one way in this industry, and that was over the internet. And the reason is because everybody was just getting their AOL accounts or Hotmail or whatever, and you could send them anything, and they were so excited to have an email they would read it. And if you had a link in it that it says click here, and they did it, and they'd open up another page, I mean, they would forward that to 10 friends being like, how cool is this? So it was the easiest way ever to share network marketing or share a home-based business, because it really went viral. And I saw the power in that, and so I created some systems that led to tremendous success, mainly because of the power of these systems and just where we were as an economy at that time. Mm-hmm. And so I turned that into a little business venture. I ended up taking that to 17 major network marketing companies in the space, really as a vendor to a lot of those. Created, of course, some significant income streams as a distributor within several of those companies using those systems. But I learned that it was a little bit of a double-edged sword, very, very honestly. People ask me, they say, so George, you're back in the industry now after being out for 10 years. You have to be using systems right and left. I'm like, actually, I haven't sent a single email. Everything I do is relationship now and over the phone. And the reason is because I saw the other side of it. Yes, people get in very, very quick, but they also quit extremely quick because they don't have that relationship with you. And that's really what burns you out. When you see a lot of success, that's a lot of fun. But then when you realize it was so short-lived, that gets really frustrating. So now my belief system is a lot different. I don't even send my really good friends emails. I call them up and I say, hey, you've got to take a look at this. You need to watch this video. I need to get on the phone with you at some point here in the next, couple hours ideally, but I do not want you to miss this. I'm totally solid on this, and I'm excited, and I thought about you, and I need you to take a look at this for your reasons. You can say no, but you need to see this. And people are like, well, can't I just send an email? I'm like, you can, but I doubt you're going to get anywhere near the response. I mean, Terry, you and I are friends. You shoot me over an email that says, hey, George, I found the greatest thing ever. I believe in this. You're the first person I'm telling, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's an email. But Terry, you call me and I know you and you say the same thing to me. I'm like, awesome. All right, Terry, I'll take a look at this right now. And that's what I found. By and large, that happens with everybody. So I just make sure that either I'm talking to them in person or I'm talking to them on the phone. That's just how I do it now. It's funny. It's absolutely polar opposite of how I built great success in the past. But this actually building the relationships has built me far greater success right now, even early on, I feel, because the people are so strong. The relationships are so strong with who we have right now in Nerium, and they're so solid and they so get it. I love this business.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Well, let me ask you this question. What was it that really attracted you to Nerium that you said, okay, I got to be part of this community and this mission that we have?
It was probably a few things. I did a lot of background check. I had a little ego involved, for one, just being real honest. I had said no for the past 10 years. I mean, everybody who showed me anything, I, in my mind, was retired. I had bought my horse ranches. I was doing the things I wanted to do. I was living a good life. And I just did not want to get back into that same cycle that I was in when I got out of the industry. Even though I made a lot of money, it wasn't something I wanted to do. And that's probably one of the reasons I made the big shift in doing it different this time. But a very good friend of mine, Del Williams, who I have a lot of respect for, called me up and says, "Hey, George, I have something that I want you to take a look at. I'm going to be in Dallas here in the next couple days. Would you meet with me?" And when you know Del, nobody says no to Del when he asks, not because he's powerful, but because he's so loving. Del would never approach you with anything that he did not have your best interest in mind. And of course, I respect him. He's been extremely successful in this industry. He's just one of those people. Yeah, it didn't matter. If Del says, "Hey, George, I'm coming," he's my friend. And we got together. I took a look at it. And Jeff Olson was actually there also. And I said, "Guys, from everything you've said, you're going to be extremely successful. But I don't see myself doing it. I'm a 38-year-old, at the time, 38-year-old single guy. I've never been a poster child for clear skin. I'm a total cowboy. It doesn't matter if it says beach wear or formal wear. I'm showing up in boots and a buckle. And I just didn't see myself doing skincare. I'd done most of my success in nutritionals." And Jeff for those of you who don't know Jeff Olson yet, he's another just incredible guy. And he has such a loving, caring spirit about him that even when he kind of smacks you around, he still has the way of putting his arm around you at the same time, and you know that he's doing it lovingly. And he in a basic context says, "George, for being one of the sharpest young guys I know, that's about the most ignorant statement you could make." Like, dude, what are you talking about? And I mean, pretty much if it's anybody else, they'd be talking back in my boots. I don't need to be abused like that, but it's Jeff Olson. And so Jeff said, "Look, honestly, George, shooting straight, why are you not in this industry?" I said, "Shooting straight, I got burnt out." He said, "Of course you did, because you're doing nutritionals. And the average person in a nutritional company only lasts 60 to 90 days. The average person in a skincare product company is 3 to 15 years. And we started talking about some people that we both knew mutually who had done very well in nutritionals and done very well in skincare. And the people that we talked about had done well in skincare, they were still making those great checks 20 and 30 and 40 years later. And he says, "George, this is what I'm talking to you about. This is a legacy company. This is your legacy. And if you choose to embrace it, but this really is the last run." And we just talked, and I didn't jump right in. That kind of laid the foundation. And over the course of the next few months, I saw the company go to $1 million in sales a month, then $2 million, then $3 million, then $4 million. I have some business partners outside of this company, outside of my network marketing involvement. I've been business partners with for 3 or 4 years in some other endeavors. We have offices down by DFW, and they're big investors. And I said, "You know what? We might need to look at investing in this biotechnology company," which of course was Nerium Biotech. And so through that, we were able to look at, we met with the biotechnology company, we talked to them, obviously on non-disclosure, but what I can tell you is everything about this company, everything about the science behind not only this product, but everything that they're doing is totally real. And I mean, we saw everything, and my belief system on what Jeff was telling us went through the roof, because I got to see with my own eyes that all of this stuff is very real, and they're actually downplaying a lot of what's going on there, in my opinion. And then then I started looking more seriously at Nerium as an opportunity, and day one I decided to finally engage. My belief system was just through the roof, because I had already done so much due diligence. I knew Del, I knew Jeff, and I'd basically been talking to them for a few months. That and of course had great results myself. My mom had great results, my sister-in-law. So it was just the day that I finally said, "Okay, I'm in this deal." I was like a 4-month guy into it, because my belief system was so high that I just literally picked up the phone and started calling everybody, and just like, and I didn't call networkers. I called my friends who I truly wanted to help. I know you know Mike Ammerman, definitely another cowboy, and I call him up. I said, Mike, you got to take a look at this. I know we talked about, if I ever want anything again, if I ever decide to get back to the space, you want to be a first to know? I'm telling you, you're first to know. He's like, I'm in. What is it? I said, skincare. He says, what? This is a guy who's now absolutely killing it. And anyway, I probably got off message there, but that was some of the due diligence I did before I actually said yes to Nerium, and then my heart and soul just got totally thrown into this thing.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I love the fact that, and I think that's kind of the shocking thing. You look at yourself, you look at Mike, and you look at Randy Neighbors, and you say, okay, not typical people you would think in a skincare anti-aging company. So there must be something going on here, and that is very, very true. Let's talk a little bit about how maybe, I know you call people up, but when you're out and about, doing your thing, how do you bring up Nerium? And what do you say to people?
For me, I'm not a guy who's a sales pitch guy. I'm not a guy who has, specific lines that I'm going to throw on somebody. I just absolutely believe in this company. I believe in the opportunity. I've seen so much that I know that if anybody says, hey, I'm really struggling right now, or just offhandedly says something, or I find out that they happen to be in the skincare industry. I'm saying this would be people that I don't really know well. I just talk to them. I just find a way to open my mouth. I firmly believe you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. The worst thing that you can do is just not say anything at all. So even if you stumble over yourself, just be natural, just be conversational, just like, hey, seriously, I don't know you that well, but I think I probably have something that you'd be very interested in. And I'd like to, if now's the right time, I'll talk to them for a couple minutes or give them some literature, or I'll say, hey, it just depends on the setting. But we've all been, I've been on this earth for 39 years. I know how just to be social with somebody. You do, everybody watching this video does. You just be natural, just be you, whatever it is. Bring it up in some context. Don't feel like you have to say a whole bunch. Actually, less is more. Create interest, never solve the curiosity, but just one or two lines of, the best thing is I really do care about people. So they know that if I approach them and I say, hey, I heard what you said and I just want you to know that I think I can help you. That's generally how I approach people, because that's my nature. But whatever works for you, just open your mouth and say something. You'd be amazed where it takes you.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. What's one of the most common objections you hear from people when they look at Nerium or go to? I want to thank you too, by the way. You're the guy that actually created the skinhealth2012.com website, so everybody really is using that, and we all appreciate that. So somebody goes there and they come up with an objection. What's the most common thing that you hear people say?
Probably the most common is a time objection, saying that they don't have, they're already busy, they're all this, they're already that. That's actually probably my favorite objection too. Maybe because I've heard it so much, I might as well make it my favorite. But I really share with people that that's the great thing that we have here. How much time does it take to say, hey, I found something I'm really excited about. Go here, watch this video. And then I just want to follow up with you. Find out what you liked best, find out what questions you have, and then put you on the phone with an expert to answer your questions. That's as much time as it takes, and because that's the process I've literally put everybody through, and it's the same process that whoever put them on the phone with me put them through, I can be like, this is how it works. It's like, think about why we're on the phone right now. Your friend Sarah said, hey, I got something I'm excited about, watch this video, you watched it, and Sarah got you on the phone with me. Like, Sarah's busy, but the most successful people in any industry are the people who are the busiest.
Right.
And the reason is because so many people respect their opinion, because they're also probably the most successful in whatever else they're doing. So they say to somebody, you got to watch this video, and then I need to get you on the phone with George Wiley or Randy Neighbors or Terry Petrovick or whomever it is. people are like, all right, cool. If you believe in it and I know how busy you are, I'm in. I'll at least take a 15-minute look. And that's all we ask for.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's the most important thing a brand new person can do to launch their business and to start becoming successful at this, George, in your opinion?
Well, the first most important thing is to know your why. Is to know why you're doing this. And it's not to be cliche. It's just honestly, I mean, like almost everybody probably answers that way. I think you have to know why you're even wanting to do this business. And if your why is strong enough and you know what your first goals are, not your ultimate goal that you want to own a huge horse ranch one day in Texas. My first goal was I got to eat, you know. I decided to do this. So wherever it is, just be realistic with yourself. Say, hey, this is my first why. And know that. And the second is something that I learned from another one of our incredible upline who teaches us a lot, and that's Kathy Aaron. And that's making your list properly. We all have people that will do something just because they love us. And some people focus on looking at the business saying, okay, I understand to get started, I really need 3 people. And I think I can find 3 people who I can just say, hey, you need to do this. They love me enough, they respect me enough, you know, they appreciate and care for me enough that they'll do it. Or I have leverage over them because I'm at a higher, you know, a little bit higher position and I do this. We find that people who take that approach don't get started very quick. A lot of times they don't have much success at all. And the reason is because they're not even excited about who they got in and they got started in business with as their new business partners. They were people that they knew they could leverage in. So what we tell them is make your list. If on a scale of 1 to 10, if you see yourself as a 5, make your list of people who are all 7s to 10s. 10, 20 people. And those are the first people we're going to approach. Terry, there's no doubt you're a 10. But if you put on the hat that you're a 5 and thought of people who in your mind are 7s to 10s, and we get those first 3 or 4 people in your team that in your mind are even stronger than you, how excited are you about this business now that you got, you know, people you really looked up into this? And that's what you and I and everybody on our team is here for, is to help each other. I mean, we just talk to people, but it seems like most people choose to join us. So just get them on the phone with us. Let us talk to them. If they say no, that's totally cool. But you'll find most of them say yes. So if you're going to get them on the phone with us, it might as well be people who you're excited to have in your business with you.
That's awesome, George. Well, my friend, I hope this has been insightful for you. This guy, you know, and I can talk for probably hours and hours about this profession. We absolutely love it. We're so passionate about helping you become successful. So I want you to know that George is here. I'm here for you. Everybody on the team is here for one reason. That is to help you and the people that you introduce to Nerium to become successful. My name is Terry Petrovick, and remember this. You have a choice. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one, because you, my friend, absolutely deserve it. Bye-bye for now.